I called myself a Christian, but I didn't know much about the Bible. I did not have a true personal relationship with Jesus. I didn't know much about him. And so I realized I want to know Jesus more. And that was the beginning of my true walk with Christ.
It's like they say I was blind, but now I see. The old cliches of being born again, that's me. I was just living then, but now I am alive. I finally found my way home. I have arrived, and now it seems so clear that God is really here. My life is hard, but with him I will persevere. And when I am in pain, and when I'm suffering, I call his name and believe what he proclaimed. That's when he carries me. I know he's listening. I know he's watching and aware of my every need. No longer live in shame. Now I can overcome. In every place that I'm weak, that's where he's strong. I know he really cares, and when I pray he hears. I know with him by my side I can face my fears. My journey's just begun. There will be obstacles, but through him I know all things are possible.
I was compelled to pick up a Bible and actually read it and looking at the scripture stuff. The more and more I dug into it, the more and more it made sense. I'd been doing a lot of personal development at the time and was intrigued with such things as the secret and new age ways of living. As I read about Jesus and his teachings, it hit me like a ton of bricks. All this stuff I was reading in the new age was just ripped off Jesus. They replaced God with the universe, and they replaced prayer / faith with the law of attraction.
I feel his presence now. I know he knows just how to answer questions and resolve all my fears and doubts. I'm growing every day. I don't know everything. The more I learn, I realize I don't know anything. But something's happening. There's just a joy he brings. I can't explain it. I'm released from these heavy chains. I live with purpose now. Know I can stand my ground. I have a reason and foundation for which I'm proud. Something outside myself, something that's more than me. I tried up my way and wound up with nothing. I know he understands. I know he has a plan. I know he's been in control since time began. And now I'm on his side. I'm on the winning team. Know where I'm going, where I'll be for eternity. My life will someday end, but now I'm not afraid. I know he's made a way, and he's prepared a place.
I ran from the Lord a long time. I did drugs, I did the alcohol, the sex. I became a skinhead. If you weren't white, I hated your gut. So much bitterness, so much anger. I hated the world. There's so many of you, you're in the same spot that I was. You're in the tomb, man, and you're dead and you stink, but Jesus said, roll away the stone.
Oh, I'm a sinner now, done what you can't allow, but I'm forgiven, not ashamed, I'll say it loud. I have been saved by grace, and by his mercy raised. I should be dead, but instead I proclaim his name. He conquered death and sin, and made a way through him. He rose again, and ascended, and will come again. There is no other truth, there is no other way. No other risen king, no other savior reigns. No other claim to God, no one that took the blame. Nothing that stays the same, nothing that can't explain. I've searched for many years, I've wandered many paths. Nothing compares to what's real, and I'm here at last. My destiny unfolds, my mission now begins. I am alive, I've been saved, I owe it all to him. My vision once was dark, but now I see so clear. Listen but never heard, and now I finally hear.
Good evening, everybody. DestinyLab.com if you want to get some of that awesome music. DestinyLab.com. All right, we're going to start off. Let's see here. Jump over to the Skype thingy. Grab Mr. David F. Town Baller and get him added in here. We're going to add Lance. He's out whoring right now. But we're going to add him in here because he said he might be back in about a half hour or so. So we'll get him added in real quick. Go down the list, see if anybody else is ready to go. Dun, 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 dun. Oh. There's Dave. What's up, Dave?
What's up, Jimmy?
Not a whole lot, man. Just holiday stuff, listening to all the car wrecks and everything that are happening around here and the fights and stuff breaking out, all the posts on hang on a second, Micah. I'll get you added in here in just a second. Just a second. Got a new caller. Gonna call in here, local. I guess they like the show. I don't know. We'll see. What's going on with you, man? How was your holiday?
It was pretty good.
Good deal. Good deal. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Well, had some relatives here, and that's about it. Just ate a lot of food.
Was it good food?
Well, as good as food as I can eat. I've been on like this strict diet for a long time now, so.
What kind of strict diet?
That was one that doctors have gave me, too. Just, I can only eat certain foods.
Low salt, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Try to stay away from
bread. So
in
that's
other
been
words,
a battle in itself to get through that, man.
Right.
I slip up ever so often, but I try to stick to it.
Well, good. I guess it's going to be me and you for a while. I haven't heard back from Lori. Charlie's out eating dinner with some friends, and I guess Lance won't be on for a minute. So we can get Micah added in here if you want to. She's a local girl here with Nana. Time for her to fly. Oh, okay. Thoughts and prayers going out to Lori and the family. It looks like her grandmother is about ready to pass, and that's where she's at. So everybody, thoughts and prayers out to her, please. God's taken a lot of them home, man. There's been a lot of death in the last few months just around me. It's kind of, I don't know. He's taking them home quick. All right. Let me type this out real quick. Okay. So I'm going to add Micah into the call here, and we're going to see how this is going to go. So evidently, they're in the middle of a party over at the Weasel's Den, and they want to call into the show for whatever reason. So we're going to add this up here and see how it goes.
I got plumb nose now.
All right.
Hang on.
I gave everybody the heads
Here
up
you go.
that we're calling into a party over at the Weasel's Den. So I just, hey, it's actually very quiet.
Talking to somebody else.
It's actually, no, I'm talking to you.
Are you sure? Oh!
What's up,
I can't
Buck?
hardly hear you.
You can't hardly hear me.
Turn that up. Hang on just a second.
All right. Hope there's no feedback. So I told him I was calling into the Weasel's Den, and that you guys are all over there in the middle of a party. So I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
It ain't gonna go good, you know that.
Well, we're gonna dive. I mean, if you guys want to ride the whole show out and just add in your 2 cents worth whenever you feel like it, we can do that.
Well, I truthfully, we thought we'd have video and shit, but hell, I didn't know we couldn't see you when we was doing all this.
You can see me if you go to the website. You know, that's where it's broadcasting out live, is on the website. But no, I don't broadcast video on the Skype thing because it tends to.
We got more coming in right now. A little hippie looking little guy.
So you're gonna ride the whole show out, Buck?
Do what?
Are you gonna ride the whole show out and add in some stuff from time to time when we're doing articles, or what?
Well, how do we do that?
Well, you can. I mean, you could just mute in the background, just mute your mic and listen in, and then when you feel like adding in, unmute and say, "Hey, I got something to say."
And we can raise tell and do that shit?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Okay, we'll try to ride this show out.
All right.
Hi, Jim.
Howdy, everybody.
Hey. We're drinking and we're drunk.
All right. We're gonna Dave and I are gonna jump into the headlines, so go ahead and hit the mute over there and then add in when you're ready.
We'll try this. All
righty.
There's only about 10 of us here.
All right, Dave, over to you. First headline. What do you got?
Well, some more news came out of North Korea tonight. What they saying now? They're saying that there's signs that he's getting ready to launch either a rocket or a satellite at any moment now again. They said that he could try to launch 2 different satellites that they want to launch.
Is anyone turning up? I put them on Bluetooth.
Hey, Buck.
I'm right in the middle there, shit.
18. They come in at 18.
Hey, Buck.
No, Lee. Go down.
Hey, Buck.
Hey, Dad, he's talking to you. Dad, Buckley, he's talking to you.
Hey!
Hit that mute button over there while you guys are all chatting around
I
there.
ain't had no mute button. We don't know how to do that.
You don't want to hear us?
There should be a microphone down at the bottom of the screen there. Just tap that microphone until there's a line through it. I think they got it. All right, outstanding. Go ahead, David.
The background noise was throwing me off.
Yeah, it's a big party over there. So.
What's that?
They're having a big party over there. So it's the Weasel Den. A bunch of good fellas ride motorcycles and stuff. All right, go ahead, carry on.
But anyway, they're saying that North Korea is showing movement again, and they're just not for sure if they're going to launch just a ICBM or they're going to launch a satellite and, do some kind of nuclear test or something that, posed as a satellite launch.
Right.
But,
more
United States officials says there are initial indications that North Korea is moving equipment around that may be preparations for another missile launch or satellite launch. And at the same time this came out, the Trump administration came out tonight and said that we will no longer be announcing when we're having military drills with South Korea or Japan. He says it's time to keep it quiet now. So they said we're not going to be hearing now if like they're sending 3 carriers or battle groups, they're not going to tell us no more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of scary in a sense. They're going dark, basically.
China's not too happy about the Japanese refitting their aircraft carriers to carry F-35s either.
Oh, no. They're working up to something. This is like the build up to the Iraq War in 2003. It's starting to follow the same track now.
Yep.
And, so now they're announcing, we're going dark. How did they put it? It says U.S. officials today said the U.S. is to be more discreet about Korea military drills. So that's basically we're going dark. I know that from, my military experience.
Yep. I got a question for you, just kind of jumping down a rabbit hole here for just a second, but it's something that happened this week. The Navy tweeted out Julian Assange. And about the same time, Julian Assange's Twitter account went dark for a couple of days. And then the Navy took it back and then deleted the tweet. What's your thoughts on all that?
I heard of that, and I don't know, man. Something's weird about that whole thing, there's a war going on behind the scenes within our own government right now.
Yeah.
I firmly believe that. There's a war going on within the walls of the White House and outward from there right now, man.
Oh, Vaughn's in the room. Vaughn, you want to add into the show, brother? Hit me up on Skype if you want to add into the show. The thing, for years, well, not for years.
I do believe in the
for
shadow
about a year.
government. I really, truly do.
Absolutely. For a year or more, we've been saying that Julian Assange's account is, his Twitter account's been hijacked by somebody else.
Yep.
He's been making all kinds of weird tweets. I think the same thing about Drudge. I think that Matt Drudge's account's been hijacked. I don't think it's actually him that's posting on there. So, there's just all kinds of hickey stuff going on. I don't believe anything that comes off of Julian Assange's Twitter. Yeah.
Well, he put out those big files and there was nothing in them.
Right.
It was fake.
Right. But the whole Navy thing, the U.S. Navy, that tweet went through 4 or 5 different people's hands before it went out on Twitter. They don't just have one dude.
I think that was some kind of weird message to somebody, maybe. I don't know, man.
Yeah. And then the QAnon was adding in on it, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow the QAnon thing. I just hear what people say on.
I tried to get into that. I'm like, I don't know if I can buy any of this, man.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe that there's a war going on with the shadow government, whether it's Trump standing up to them or not. I don't know if I believe that.
You think it's an actual coup?
There's something going on, man, behind the scenes. You know, this Mueller investigation isn't stopping. The Republicans are just coming after Mueller now, and it's a fight. It's a fight. There's fighting going on within different branches of our government against each other. The FBI, the CIA, the NSA are all, you know, on one side. You got Trump and other people. You know, I don't know what's staged and what isn't, but there is a fight going on.
Yeah, I believe that too, for sure.
There is, and that's scary, man, because they're taking us to World War III here with North Korea at the same time. And this is exactly what we've been saying for a very long time, Jimmy. You know, you're going to have this one war go on within here, and then we're going to be facing a global war at the same time. We're going to lose the power here. I'm a firm believer that the grid is going to go down here. That's going to be their next card. That's going to be the next 9/11.
In the middle of the winter?
Yeah, I don't know when, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and
did you
people
see
people need to prepare for that. People need to prepare for a grid. You know, I've never come out and said stuff like this before, and I'm a nobody. But I'm telling you, I've been prepping for a grid down situation. Everything that I've been prepping on has been for that scenario, man.
Yep. That's why I got the wind finally put up. I'm not sure if it's working or not, but it's up on top of the pole. You know, I got the solar here, got my own well. You know, got a bunch of stored food. That's ammo, guns, all that good stuff. Seeds.
You know, now whether that North Korea satellite that's been floating around for a while as the EMP, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird how our government hasn't, you know, tried to do anything against that.
I don't buy that for a minute, dude. I didn't buy it when they first said it was up there.
You know, none of it makes sense.
Nope.
And then you got little Kim wanting to launch another rocket now with satellites on there, and you know, and then the military saying they're going dark, you know, fighting with their own government. It's all coming together, man.
Do you really think it's going to be a satellite launch? Did you really? I don't think it's going to be. If he launches anything, it's going to be. Well, I don't know. I don't know, man. At this stage of the game, it's not very often I find myself without the ability to articulate something that I'm thinking, but at this stage of the game, you can't second guess these people. You don't know what direction they're going. We've been saying this for a while too, you know.
You know, I think 2018 is going to be one of the worst years this country is going to suffer, is what I really think. I think 2018 is the year, and I believe that there's biblical stuff going on at the same time. You know, Absolutely. I think there's a lot of movement on every side.
But if you listen to Cliff High, his WebBot prediction says booming. We're going to be booming. You know, cryptos are going through the ceiling, and everybody's going to, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm starting to think that Cliff High consorts with demons over his little WebBot thing. Who knows? There's people getting rich off his advice, though, on these cryptos. There's people that are making millions and millions and millions of dollars if they can ever cash it all in. That's the thing that I'm waiting on. When shit starts hitting the fan and cryptos start dumping and all these assholes that are holding 10,000 IPO coins or whatever the fuck it is, when they start trying to cash it all in for currency, don't think it's going to be there. Just saying. But that's just me, you know. I'm evidently the odd man out because everybody out there is talking about cryptos, right? Every time you click on a YouTube ad or on a YouTube video, you got some dude that doesn't know how to comb his hair or put his glasses on straight telling you there's $200 trillion worth of fucking people wanting shit out there, whatever. That and Sophia. I'm eager to see what Sophia's going to do in 2018 if they're going to let her have her little electronic family and all that shit.
Who's Sophia?
The AI robot that got the citizenship in Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Demon shit, dude. Demon shit.
Fucking robots.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they said, I read a story today. They said within the next 20 years, there's going to be more people having sex with robots than with each other.
Disney Daniel just said Disney's had a power outage the day they announced they'll be spying on all guests at least once a day from now on for their safety. Go figure. So, yeah, Disney's now had a big, huge power outage. Not the one in Florida, the one out on the West Coast, out in California. So,
yes, I saw that earlier.
Following in the footsteps of Atlanta Airport. I'm telling you, man, what if they're going around the country testing all these little micro EMPs to see how they can, how localized they can get the effects of it and shit?
Mm-hmm. Nothing would surprise me.
Just something to think about. Because we all saw that on the localized EMP thing. What was that on? One of the Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12 or one of those movies, I think. Didn't they have one in the back of a van and set it off?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So.
Hey,
what's up, Buck?
we're trying to get you on this other phone here. Where we're gonna get you on the Bluetooth so we can listen to you, and all of us jack with you.
All right, keep working at it, I guess.
You got a way to block us, don't you?
Yeah, I can just hang up on you.
Oh, sweet. Still in the love.
Oh, okay. Keep playing. That's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead, David.
Sorry about the break.
Go ahead, David.
It also came out tonight that the North Korea threats have raised alerts at the Olympics. There's already been, I don't know, they're saying because the Olympics, this is kind of obvious if you follow the news. You're having the damn Olympics 50 miles from North Korean border. Within
artillery range.
Of course there's going to be, concerns raised. And I can't believe they're just now raising them. Oh, shit, there's concerns. We're having the Olympics 50 miles from the DMZ. It was stupid. They should have canceled them in the beginning. This is what I'm looking at, and this is just me. This is perfect setup now for some kind of false flag to happen at the Olympics and blamed on North Korea.
Absolutely.
This is why I think they want to continue with them. And I'm not saying it's going to happen. I have no idea. It's just my conspiracy mind.
You can see it coming. You can see it coming.
That's just what I think. I think that's why they're going to have them, because it'd be easy for someone to do something and blame it on North Korea, or it could be easy for North Korea to really do something. You never know.
Right at this stage of the game, they're probably scared to death. Everybody's multiplying on their borders. All these people are going to start showing up. Yeah, it just doesn't, because they kick off in February. So people are going to start flying in over the next couple of weeks and stuff and getting prepped for the games and blah, 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 blah.
Well, of course, and then your bigger countries moving in their military off the coast of North Korea. They're moving in a couple of ships and whatever, just in case something goes down. So, there's a buildup going on at the same time.
All for the safety of the people.
Yep, exactly. Safety of the athletes, man. So, like France, and whoever else has ships that can make it that far. They're all sailing their militaries that way, just in case.
We still have 3 carriers in the Pacific?
No, they left a while back. I think the only one over there now is the Reagan that's stationed out of Japan.
Well, yeah, that's stationed over there, but I'm saying where are the other 2 boats? Are they still floating around in the Pacific? Because they can have them over there in a matter of days.
One went back to San Diego a couple of weeks ago.
Well, still in the Pacific.
Oh, it's already back, though. It already docked.
Right. But what I'm saying is they can turn it around and dispatch it and have it back over there in a matter of days.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they could, And then the other carrier went somewhere else, toward Australia.
Right. Plus, we've got all the EDRE units up in Alaska.
Well, we've got a carrier in the Persian Gulf at all times. We've always got one there. Like I said, that's where I served most of my time, was in the Persian Gulf. And they're still doing it. And that's crazy, man. We were there escorting ships in and out because Iran-Iraq war was being fought, and they were blowing up tankers right and left, and we were going in and rescuing crews off these tankers. And they were putting Iran and Iraq at people out, putting sticky bombs on the side of tankers, hitting them with missiles, and we were shooting at Iranians and Iraqis that were trying to blow up each other's oil tankers. And You know, and we're still doing it. That was back in 86, 87, and we're still doing the same thing, you know.
Kicking it all
keep
off
an eye
again.
on all the oil tankers over there. Because when a war breaks out with Iran, they're going to mine that Straits of Hormuz, and at least try to, and you're going to have a big naval battle over there.
Fuel's gone up. Fuel's gone up $10 a barrel.
Oh,
that's over $60 a barrel already. People didn't even realize it was going up.
Oh, that went up pretty fast.
Yep. So, hold on to your bootstraps, folks. You know, as soon as the first bomb hits the fucking ground, it's going to, you know, way over $100 a barrel, probably closer to $300 a barrel, and fuel at the pump's going to be $10.
Well, you know, something's fixing to happen with Israel and Syria over there in Iran, because Iran and Hezbollah and the Syrian army are all right on the Golan Heights now, fighting rebels over there. Most of the rebels have gave up. And Israel
they just shot a plane out of the sky.
Yeah, Israel was supporting those rebels over there.
So
they still are.
The U.S. has been letting them use their bases and stuff to train.
Yeah. And it's not even hidden anymore.
No,
Israel
right out in your
come
face,
out openly
man.
said, yeah, we've been supporting these rebels in this one pocket over here the whole time.
It's as in your face. It's as in your face as that Taco Bell commercial that we played on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, it is. You know, Israel was setting up triage centers on their side of the border for these rebels that were getting shot over there, and if they get shot, Israel would send special forces over, bring the wounded back over, patch them up, send them back out. Netanyahu even went over there and shook hands with one of them. There's a picture of it. You know, it was some rebel laying in a field tent. Here's Netanyahu smiling, looking right down at this dude shaking his hand. And that came out 6 months ago. You know, but these rebels are getting beat back now, and some of them had to give up, and they brought buses and took them off. So now you got Iran, Syria, Hezbollah, all sitting on Israel's, on the Golan Heights border now.
Yep.
And Netanyahu's not going to sit there and let that happen.
Why isn't he in prison yet?
Yeah,
Don't they still have
he
charges
just got a
against him?
6-visit interview from the cops. You know, the other day. You know, he's as corrupt as the day is long.
I thought for sure they'd have him locked up by now.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. You know, I could say that. I think he'll get locked up. Maybe not. Maybe he's untouchable for now. Who knows? Maybe America's protecting him.
Now they got crosshairs back on Hillary again. I don't know if these are all distractions just to keep us thinking, oh, yeah, they're going to make her do the perp walk or what. I don't know.
I still don't believe anything will ever happen to Hillary, man.
That corruption goes deep from back here in Arkansas. You know, their list of bodies is fucking a couple of hundred people.
Well, you know, even though she's not in office, she's still part of the political group, man.
Deep state.
Big time. And you know, you noticed that Obama's been everywhere the past couple of days. He was all kinds of pictures of him coming out, him giving toys to kids. He's the deep state. I believe that Obama is
Satan Claus.
I believe he's the face of the deep state. He really is. Him, Hillary Clinton, Soros.
When's the next election for the UN? When's the next election for the UN?
I don't know. Now he's going to get it. He wants it still.
Yeah.
And he's going around doing humanitarian shit all over the world.
Well, that's the only reason he's staying in the spotlight. He wants to keep himself relevant, you know, so that when he goes to run for the head of the UN, that he gets that nod.
And that's right there. If he gets head of the UN, man, you know the deep state is in charge, man.
Are they still moving it to Chicago?
What's that? Parts of the UN?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were talking about it. I'm not for sure. I haven't heard anything lately on that.
Yeah, put it right in the center of this country. It's
a new world order, man. It's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Like I said, that Taco Bell commercial couldn't have been any more blatant in your face if you know what's going on, man. They threw that out there on purpose.
Yep.
Just
Absolutely.
to rub your face in it.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, the ones that don't believe in it might not have meant nothing, but to the ones that do know the truth, that was crazy.
I actually had a friend here locally send me a text just about 2 hours ago because she just saw it on television. It came on TV and she saw it and she was like, "Have you seen this?" And she sent me a link to it and I was like, "Yeah, we played it on the show Wednesday." She's like, "What the fuck?" I said, "They're arrogant, aren't they? They're right in your fucking face."
Yeah, arrogant, very arrogant, man.
Yep.
You know, when people are saying that Trump's rooting them out, bullshit, they're getting stronger.
Look, Trump might not be part of the deep state, but he is run by the people that run the deep state. There's just no two ways about it. He would not be sitting in that chair if he was not under control. He is under control.
I believe that, man.
The minute that he goes rogue and does something that they really don't like, he's going to catch a fucking bullet.
I agree with all that.
All right, brother. Move on to the next. What do you got?
What do we have next? They're pushing that North Korea, you know, you had this defector come across the border the other day.
The guy without worms.
He'd been shot up with the anthrax vaccine. And so now they're really pushing little Kim has anthrax now, which he might have. He's had bioweapons for a long time, you know, just like any other country. And the question is how much he's got. And they say it's quite a lot. Who knows if they're telling the truth. But now they're saying that, you know, that's the bigger concern than his nuclear weapons is his bioweapons that he can release on South Korea or Japan or whoever else, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, your weapons of mass
destruction. They were worried about Saddam doing that too, and he didn't have poo.
Yeah, exactly.
So
this is the card they're pushing now. It's kind of a dual track between his rocket launches now and now his chemical biological program.
Well, remember back during the Gulf War, they were giving all of our boys anthrax vaccines about every 6 months or whatever, and it started causing a lot of health problems in our guys. You know, they suffered long-term health effects from it because they were untested vaccines and they had all kinds of different shit in them, squalene and blah blah blah. Well, you just go look it up. Tried to file lawsuits against them, can't do it. Won't let them. So this is just, I got to think that this is just another ploy to get everybody in the military to take another jab. You know, let's put a microchip in them so we can follow them around.
You know, this is what it says about his bio program. You know, this is from Fox News today.
Oh God, if it's from Fox, it must be true.
Exactly, Trump's mouthpiece. So it says when it comes to biological weapons, they said just a tiny amount can bring incredibly lethal results. It says ounces or pounds would be enough. You can have millions of lethal doses of anthrax in a several pound quantity. With smallpox, maybe just a few grams. And it says one of the biggest concerns when it comes to chemical or biological warfare concern that this one chemical warfare guy, Weber, in the White House seemed to share.
Hey, hang on, put brakes on for just a second. Didn't we talk about something Wednesday about them opening up the scientists' ability to fuck around with deadly pathogens and stuff?
Yep.
Okay, just thought I'd throw that in there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's, like I said, this is just what, it's the same. That's what I said. They're taking the same path as they did with Iraq in 2003.
It's old hat, dude. Go ahead.
They're rolling out the same game plan, except this ain't going to be like fighting Iraq. There's going to be an actual war that we've never seen.
Yeah, because we're going up against other world powers, man. We're not just trying to stomp on some micro government. We're going to be involving world powers in this. World powers that are stronger than us. Come on, let's be honest with each other.
Well, yeah, and switch gears real fast back to what you mentioned earlier about the Syrian plane got shot down. The rebels shot a Syrian jet down, then they
killed the
pilot. Beheaded the pilot.
Yep.
Beheaded the son of a bitch, and those rebels, I'm sure Russia's trying to find out who runs them, Israel or America or both of us, and that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a big issue, man. I mean, there's still heavy fighting going on in Syria, even though our government is saying 90% of ISIS is gone now. There's fewer under. First they said, 3,000 left in there. It went down to 1,000 today. And they can't make up their minds. It went from 3,000 like 2 days ago to 1,000 today.
They also just made an announcement that we're going to have more troops over in Afghanistan in this coming year.
Yep.
So they're not trying to negate it. They're not trying to bring anything home, Go ahead.
So there's stuff going on everywhere. When this goes down with North Korea, this is just going to be the flashpoint, and it's just going to spread.
Well, what about the Israeli-Iranian flashpoint? What's going on over there?
Well,
because that's
there hasn't been much
potential trigger.
It's been pretty quiet the past couple of days, but you had who came out today? Let me see if I can find this here. Oh, dang it. Oh, Iran. They had a vote in their parliament today to name Palestine the capital, name Jerusalem the capital of Palestine, and it passed.
Yep.
So that's Iran making their line in the sand right there when it comes to Jerusalem, and basically.
Didn't the Netherlands or somebody say that it was the capital of Israel, agreeing with the U.S. because they take most of their money from us or something? I can't remember what country that was, but.
Well, Guatemala came out yesterday and announced they're going to be moving their embassy to Jerusalem, the first country to do it.
Guatemala, that's what it was, Guatemala.
Guatemala.
If it wasn't for the U.S. money, that country would be sunk.
Yep.
So, but no. It was a completely organic decision on our part down here in Guatemala.
You can bet we're blackmailing other countries.
Yeah.
We
had nothing to do with the U.S. giving us all that money and stuff. We decided that all on our own.
We're stiff arm. We're no better than the mafia. We're stiff arming everybody now, saying if you don't move your embassy there, there's going to be issues, and we're blackmailing people.
The original definition of terrorism was government by force.
Yep. That's what's happening behind the scenes, man. That's why I said we're heading for a world war, and our allies aren't even going to have our back. We're going to be out there with it hanging in the wind. That's why they're setting it up for us just to stand there with it hanging in the wind, dude.
It ain't going to be hanging in the wind, dude, because we're stomping on it. We're every chance we get, we're laying it out on the table and stomping on that motherfucker. That's the way I see it, anyway. That's the way I see
it's crazy, dude. We're alienating ourselves from the world. I'm for a little bit of nationalism or isolationism, but not as much as Trump is trying to get it. I mean, to be isolated from certain parts of the world, whatever, but to isolate yourself from your allies, that don't make any sense. That don't make any sense. Not that I agreed with the Paris Accord, Trump pulled out of that. That isolated us right there off the back. We're the only country beside, Syria, that doesn't belong in that now, which is fine. But now we pulled this Jerusalem stuff, and this was a big red line with the rest of the world, even our allies. They even all told Trump, don't announce this. And he did it anyway.
That's because of his ego, dude. His ego gets the better of him, When he does all his fucking signatures, every time he signs something into law, he's got to have cameras there so he can hold it up and show everybody, look at my signature on this big piece of paper.
Well, I think it was part of the agenda for him to do it. I think it was being told to him behind the scenes.
Because he's controlled, man.
To join up with the Zionist regime and the Zionist cabinet. The Zionists have always wanted
easiest way to prove we're Babylon.
To be the capital.
Yeah. Easiest way to prove we're Babylon. Because we got the synagogue of Satan right in our back pocket.
He didn't do it on his own. He was told to do it, and there was good reason behind it. And a lot of it has to do with alienation, with Zionism, I believe.
The alienation of the rest of the planet?
Yeah. Basically, Israel and America saying, we don't need anybody. Go screw yourselves.
Yeah. Because Merkel came out and said, we don't trust the U.S. anymore.
Yeah. Britain's going the same way.
Who gives a shit? The people that live in this country don't trust the U.S. anymore. So Angela, you ain't in a big, you're in a big boat, right?
France, Macron, there, the president of France. He was buddies at first with Trump from the beginning of the year when Trump first got elected and stuff. But now Trump's even made him mad with this Jerusalem move, and he's like, I can't back you on that, dude. I'm gonna have to take a step back now.
Yeah, he's trying to stay in office. Doesn't he have? Yep. I mean, he's on his last leg, too. Him and his 80-year-old wife. Ugh.
You know, sometimes, you know, when you're getting ready to have a big fight, it's good to have as many friends on your side as possible. And this is what makes no sense to us. They're taking us to the biggest fight that we've had. And we're having less and less people on our side. They're pulling our enemies away and bringing us close, or our allies away and bringing us closer to war.
Yep.
We're going to look to our left. We're going to look to our right, and there's going to be nobody. What, Israel standing next to us?
No. Israel's going to be standing back in the corner, going, "Damn, y'all are fucked." But they're fucked too. I mean, if you really think about it, they are surrounded. And there's no, I mean, if they start setting nukes off, they better set them off in their own backyard. Because if they start launching them toward anybody else, they're going to get full of them.
Well, that's what I just mean. I think, you know, if it starts with North Korea, it's just going to spread like a wildfire. You know, yep. Bucket said, you know, Trump just came out and gave, you know, crossed Putin's red line with Ukraine and gave the Ukrainians, you know, what, those anti-tank missiles, a bunch of sniper stuff. You know, if those anti-tank missiles cross Putin's red line over there with that.
Well, I mean, it's just like us giving everything to Saudi Arabia so they can go over there and bomb the shit out of Yemen.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the way we make our money now. We just build weapons and sell them to anybody that wants to kill somebody else.
You know, and as for Putin and Trump being buddies, I don't think they are. I really, truly don't. I think they're almost
shake
bigger
hands when they have to.
They're becoming bigger enemies than what Obama and him were.
They shake hands when they have to. They're amicable when they have to be on camera. And that's it.
That's it. You know, Trump has still got his marching orders with Putin, and Putin's got his marching orders. And you know, they'll smile on the camera, but I believe behind the scenes, we're not close.
If you guys have been paying attention to the world news lately, the last couple of days, Moscow's taken a couple of pretty serious fucking hits, man. They had a rogue bus driver.
Got hit today, man.
Yeah, they had a rogue bus driver drive his bus down into a tunnel going to the subway system and smashed 5 people. And hurt a bunch
crazy.
more on the bus.
That video.
Yeah. And then today there was a terrorist explosion. Yeah, so.
Yeah, St. Petersburg over there in that storage locker over right next to that busy store.
We got CIA over there running around, fucking around. So.
Yeah, Moscow's getting hit. St. Petersburg, all their bigger cities are all taking hits now.
Yep. You can bet it's coming here too.
Oh yeah, of course. You know, I think New Year's Eves have been pretty complacent with Times Square and stuff, and I think they think nothing can happen there. But I do believe one New Year's Eve, maybe not this one, but it's going to happen. Someone's going to get something in there.
Yeah, it'll be set up beforehand. You know, they're probably setting it up now if it's going to happen this year, before the cops come in there and weld all the fucking sewers shut and all that bullshit.
And each year it becomes more of a militarized event. They add more military every single year to it because the threat level gets higher and higher and higher. And now this year is the most police that they've ever had. And pretty soon they'll be bringing in the National Guard to that event there.
Yeah.
They will.
NYPD's a big fucking police department too, y'all. It's a big police department. So for them to have to bring in extra folks, that's saying something.
France announced the other day they're going to have 90,000 military on the ground during New Year's Eve.
90,000.
90,000 on the ground, marching around toward Paris and all your bigger cities on New Year's Eve.
Most of the time, when you look down at Times Square over the last couple of years, the National Guard and shit that are standing around, they're really just standing around for all the American patriots to come up and go, "Thanks, guys, appreciate your service," you know. But I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I'll bet they'll be up on Humvees and rolling through strolling through the public, and they're not just going to be standing around this year. They're going to be patrolling.
Especially after that guy tried to blow himself up a couple weeks ago.
Because that one was completely organic. That wasn't some staged event. That was completely organic. Because the guy was an idiot, didn't know how to build the fucking bomb in the first place. You know, trying to pull some shit off of YouTube or whatever. Yeah.
You know, I think that kind of woke him up a little bit over there when that happened, man.
All right, what else you got?
What else, man? They said, what what was this? Some Gallup's annual poll came out today and said that Obama edges Trump as the most admired guy again for the second year in a row. The face of the shadow government wins again. Talk about how cold it is up here, dude. It's been insanely cold up here. We're having cold up here that we usually don't get till the middle of January.
It's getting down into the single digits next week, too, here. The high today was 30. And it's going down into the low 20s tonight. And, yeah, it's getting pretty cold down here, too. I saw another long-range forecast thing that said that the Arctic front's going to push way down into the south again. So...
Well, yeah, the past since Friday here, Friday, Thursday night, adding in the north wind up here, it's felt like anywhere from 20 to 30 below for high temperatures.
That's just insane, dude.
Oh, yeah, you have to go out and start your car, man, at least once. You can let it run for a little bit, man, or it won't start, no matter if you got it plugged in or not.
Yeah, the oil gets too thick.
Oh, it's brutal on the vehicles up here, man. Yep. Brutal.
That kind of deep cold shrinks the engine. It actually compresses the metals and stuff.
Oh, you hear your house making cracking sounds and all kinds of shit.
Yep. Have you got wind too on top of it?
Oh yeah, that's what we go by up here is the wind chill. We don't go by your regular temperature. We go by what it feels like with the wind in the wintertime up here, because the wind's always blowing anywhere. It can be 0 degrees for the temperature, but if that north wind is blowing just even 8 miles an hour, it makes it feel like 15, 20 below.
Oh, yeah. It's brutal. It'll kill you in a fucking heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Right now, you can't go outside longer than 10 minutes, without being totally covered, or you'll get frostbite within 10 minutes.
So if the
it's
power...
just like Alaska. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. If the power goes out tomorrow, what do you do?
That's it. I don't have a backup source. I don't. I've never had the money for a wood stove or anything. I've lived in this house for 11 years, and I've been lucky so far.
You don't have a kerosene heater or anything?
I got some portable things, but not enough to really heat the house as good as it needs to be. In this cold, I've got enough heat, say if it was 30 degrees, but when it's 20 below zero outside, you need a lot of heat.
Yeah. Well, just to keep yourself alive, man, and keep the pipes from breaking.
That's, I've got enough for that, man, but it's not enough you really want to live with for too long.
Yeah. Mercy.
And then you got to have a winter survival kit in your car, because even traveling down the street, for a mile and your car breaks down, no one sees you. You got to be ready.
Right.
You might have to walk back home or whatever. I've been through it all since I've lived up here since '88, man. I've been through every situation there is, man, and you just learn as the years go by what to have with you at all times.
You'd be amazed at how much heat one single candle in the bottom of a tin can can put off inside your car.
Now, I carry them in my car.
Yep.
But yeah, like you said though, and it's going to get even colder this week, and they're talking anywhere from 50 to 60. Some even say 65 below zero this weekend. This next cold front you were talking about is even colder than this first one. How that can be is beyond me, dude. And I believe we're going in a solar minimum, big one, man.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about that for years. The sunspot activity on the solar disk this year was almost non-existent. There were very, very few sunspots this year at all. And we didn't catch any solar flares. So.
I was listening to this other guy on YouTube the other day talk about this stuff, this weather guy talking about solar minimums and grand solar minimums. And, he was talking about, he made a statement. He says back, when there was a California gold rush, there was a lot of people going from the East Coast to the West Coast for the gold. But so what most people don't know is during that year, up in the Northeast, it was winter for a year long. A lot of people left the Northeast for California, not just for the gold, but to get warm. Because they said there wasn't a winter up in parts of the Northeast for a year.
A summer, you mean?
It was the whole thing.
A year without summer.
Winter.
And there was all kinds of articles written about it back in the day over in Europe. because they went through an entire year with no summer too. You know, temperatures.
And they
didn't
said that's
get
what
above
we're heading
60
for again.
degrees in
They
summer.
said there's going to be a year coming up in the next, they said anywhere to 20, 30 years. Or maybe, they said, what do you say, anywhere from 20 to 50 years, maybe even closer. Where it's going to happen up here in the north. That there's going to be a time where it's going to just stay winter for a year straight.
Yeah. Well, you know, if they stop spraying the fucking sky with all their chemicals and shit and let the sun come through from time to time, it probably wouldn't be this cold right now. So there is that too.
I couldn't imagine people wanting to, live up here for a year straight, man, in the cold. I would people would die.
It was brutal up in Alaska when I was stationed up there, brother. It was fucking brutal up in Alaska. You know, the summer was beautiful, but it was only for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's like here. It's only like a month and a half, 2 months, if that much here.
Yeah. And then, you're talking in the wintertime, just like you get feet of snow, inches of ice. It was just.
Well, did you see that
brutal.
over in Erie, Pennsylvania, where they had 60 inches of snow in 2 days?
In 2 days. I was just going to bring that up. Yeah, that's epic snowfall, man. They got like 38 inches one day and then 19 the next. Just fuck. I couldn't even imagine. That's 5 feet of snow, y'all.
I saw some pictures out of there. I'm like, holy. I mean, we've got that much through a whole winter, but not within 2 days.
Well, they had an epic snowfall up in the Northeast last year, too, didn't they? All that lake effect snow that was coming down in upstate New York and shit. And yeah. Here it comes again, I reckon.
So then I believe it. That there's a grand solar minimum fixing to happen, man, and it's going to stay.
Well,
it's going to stay cold up here for a long time.
The geoengineering shit's got a lot to do with it. I think it's out of
control. I believe that too.
They can't control it now. They've been spraying for so long, and they've got the weather so fucked up that they just can't control it any longer. Yeah, so they don't know what's going to happen where. But they keep spraying, right? They gotta. They just part of their agenda. Keeps us stupid, not asking questions. There you go. Mark Aaron said in the room just a second ago or a minute ago, the NYPD is bigger than the United States Coast Guard. That's pretty big, because the Coast Guard's all across the U.S., man. All right, what else you got over there? Still got another hour to go.
Was Lance coming on or what?
I'm getting ready to hit him up here in just a second.
Is he out doing something tonight?
Yeah, he's out being a slut. Try to get him added in here. He might have went home and passed out on the toilet. You never know. So tell me how your Christmas went, man. Did you get anything special?
No, I didn't get nothing, man.
No.
We just gave the kids just want money. They're, one's going to be 18, one is 15, and they don't really want anything else. My 15-year-old wants a weight bench, so we're going to go out this weekend and find him one.
Cool.
He plays football every year, so he wants to start lifting weights.
Cool. Good for him.
He said he wants to start looking good for the ladies, was his exact word. I said, well, you should, dude. You only live once. I look back now, and when I was working out and stuff, and, it just goes away now. I look like fucking you don't know what, man.
Oh, to be 15 again.
Told my son you only live once. Get looking good for the ladies, man.
Yep.
My other one, he's getting ready to go to college next fall, and so he's been saving his money for a while, man. And all he wanted was money for Christmas, so we gave him some and putting it toward his college.
Awesome. Did you guys go out and have a good meal and all that stuff?
That and get furniture for his dorm and whatever else he wants. He's going to be going college to this one town about not too far, 45 minutes west of Fargo here.
So he'll be bringing his clothes home for you guys to wash every weekend.
Yeah, most likely, man. He'll be living there during the week and living here on the weekend.
Cleaning out your refrigerator. Yep.
Yep, exactly, dude. That's the advantage of going to college so close.
I need some noodles and stuff.
I didn't go to college myself. I went to the military's college called the Navy.
Hey, Lance Musser. What's up?
Hello?
What's up, you slut?
Hello, wankers.
What's up, Lance?
What's up, Dave? What's up, Jimmy?
So I guess you struck out, man. Came home alone, huh?
No, I always come home alone, man. You don't want to bring them home, then they don't fucking leave. You don't ever want to bring them home, and when you do, you're like, you can't stay at night, man. You got to go home.
Yeah, my dog would be pissed if you took his spot on the bed.
Yeah, man, you gotta lay the ground rules.
Right on. How was your Christmas, man?
Uneventful.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that theory.
Right.
So I mean, we just hung out, friends, daughter-in-laws, hung out. My sister-in-law, my ex.
Good
had
food.
dinner, went to Christmas Town, Busch Gardens. We did that.
Right.
But Christmas, nothing. I mean, nobody did any gifts this year or anything like that.
That's the best way to do it, man. It's not worth
It's
not worth getting yourself in debt.
Totally fake. I mean, when you totally break it down, it's a joke. It's a total fucking joke. So why even participate?
It's just it's a good time to spend with family that you can stand
that's
for
what we
more
did.
than 2 hours or whatever. But yeah, to put yourself in debt to try to impress somebody, I don't know. I don't get it.
It just doesn't even make any sense. So
Not anymore.
And now
didn't
my
get
kids
presents.
are older. My kids are
presents.
21 and 24, so it's not like they're waking up looking under the tree for Santa's gifts anyway. So
Right.
So bah humbug.
And Happy New Year on top of it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got to thinking about that today. I mean, it was all that, if it needs my belief to exist, does it really fucking exist? No.
Right.
Is there a New Year's Eve? Nah. Time doesn't exist. I mean, come on. To prove to you time doesn't exist, they change the shit twice a year. Come on.
Right. Yeah. The rest of the fucking planet is tired of us doing that shit too. I don't see that sticking around very much longer either. The whole time savings bullshit. I don't see that. I don't see that lasting very much longer.
Nah. So I'm just trying to enjoy life.
Are you gonna make any New Year's resolutions or anything then? No? Just not gonna
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Gonna be the same prick you've been all your life.
Damn right. You don't want to lie to yourself.
Right on. I haven't gone out for New Year's Eve in I don't know how long, man.
Me either.
Just
I
for the simple fact that
don't even make it up till midnight.
for the simple fact that I don't want to deal with any fucking state troopers or anything, they're out pulling everybody over for any reason whatsoever, and I just didn't want to deal with any of that shit. Plus, there's a lot of idiots out there. I saw
on the news a couple days ago, they've done 100 roadblocks in our area in the past week. 100 roadblocks, and I'm like, how in the fuck did I miss them all? I'm glad. But I'm like, nah, it ain't even worth it.
Are they doing the mandatory blood draws and all that shit, Adam?
Nah, they'll do the breathalyzer if you're, looking drunk, I guess. But no, I knock on wood, no.
I remember watching that shit from, I think it was down in Tennessee last year or something. They did all that mandatory blood draws.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. How is that even constitutionally viable? How is that even constitutionally viable? I don't know, but they got away with it. There was people trying to fight it and shit, and they'd actually strap them down to a fucking gurney and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's the world we live in.
Yep. All right. What else we got going on over there, David? You got any other breaking news or anything?
This was a crazy story that came out tonight. And it just shows you how things are going here. This is 2 arrested, 2 malls closed early after melee involving 100 juveniles in Stockton, in California. And it says 2 juveniles were arrested after police were called out to a large fight involving dozens of teenagers at 2 malls in Stockton, police said. It Says prior to the melee, authorities had received multiple phone calls from the Weberstown and Sherwood malls throughout the evening regarding juveniles who were reported to be trespassing and causing a disturbance. Says officers were dispatched to the malls, which are across the street from each other, and dispersed several crowds. Then around 6:45, someone called police to alert them to a large fight taking place at Weberstown Mall. And it said that the melee started at this one store before it spread out through the whole shopping center. It then moved to the parking where, according to police, the teens were jumping on vehicles and going crazy.
God damn.
In one incident, at least 10 people jumped a teen, according to the security guard. When the officers arrived at the scene, they encountered a crowd of about 100 juveniles. Police said they had to call in additional resources to help because the group was not cooperating with officers. About an hour later, authorities declared an unlawful assembly, and the crowd was moved out of the area by officers. 2 juveniles were arrested on suspicion of trespassing. So this was crazy. Just all these teens just rooting, going through these malls.
It's the zombie apocalypse, man. Well, they probably had it all set up on Twitter or something earlier.
Yeah,
it's those flash mob things.
Yeah. It's a wonder they weren't breaking into fucking businesses and stealing shit on top of it all. You
used to hear about it quite often a few years ago. So, I mean, I haven't heard about it in a while.
Right. Well, you got all the snowflakes setting up all their anti-Trump rallies and shit on Twitter. And,
I saw that, man. They're talking about they got like loud, what do they call them? They got megaphones and stuff hidden throughout buildings in New York City and all this other stuff.
Yep. Everybody looking forward to that?
The resistance
is futile. You will be assimilated into the Borg. Oh, man. It's getting worse and worse every fucking day, too, it seems like. There's different shit going down every single day, it seems like now.
Well, this world's just spinning, more and more out of control as the time goes by. It ain't just America, it's everywhere.
Right.
It's not a bad time to be in a bubble.
Yeah. But then you're called antisocial, and they want to come take you away.
Well, I mean, that's what I am. I mean, even our office Christmas party, or, it was one of those painting things where you bring a 6-pack of beer or wine and paint a picture and everything.
Right.
Then I'm like, no, I won't be going to that. And they were like, why? I said, because I'm antisocial.
I don't like people.
And I don't want to go.
I don't like people. I don't like people anymore.
I don't like people. I work with you all day.
2 or 3 of them at a stretch, I can handle it, 2 or 3. But when there's like 15 or more in one single location, I don't know. Every once in a while I can get away with it, but most of the time, nah. Just don't want to do it.
Nah.
There's another story here.
Go ahead.
It says a company that builds underground bunkers to withstand nuclear war has made millions during Trump's presidency. It says suppliers selling to doomsday preppers are making a fortune off fears that the world is coming to an end.
They did it. They made money like that on Obama, too. They were doing it with Clinton, too. Those people have been around for a long time building them bunkers, man. Go ahead. It
says Ryzen-S company sells underground doomsday bunkers at every price point. It says the Texas-based manufacturer said its business has soared over 500% since the election of President Trump, with about 230 units sold and $12 million in sales in 2017. It says the bunkers are made of steel and set 11 feet underground, which makes them useful in natural disasters, nuclear attacks, and other doomsday scenarios, according to the company. It says anybody can put containers in the ground and sell them to people. What Rising S sells is safety. Garrett Lynch, general manager of the company, told Business Insider. And, that's pretty much it. But let me see, is there more here? Well, I think it says, in the wake of recent natural disasters and continued nuclear threats from North Korea, more people are stocking their homes with survival supplies, picking up new skills at the shooting range, and buying units in massive underground shelters to protect entire communities. And it says, about a decade ago, a woman approached owner Clyde Scott about building her a much larger storm shelter around 40 feet long that came with all the creature comforts of home. She wanted the whole works, bathrooms, beds, sinks, camera systems, and it got me thinking she isn't wanting no ordinary storm shelter, but a survival shelter.
You gotta wait till I'm done.
And it says, he used $3 million from his storm shelter business to create a bunker company, and the move has kept him busy ever since. And it says, according to Lynch, the company's client list include tech moguls, professional athletes, politicians, and celebrities. There's a lot of pictures of them. They're pretty cool looking, actually, man. But
couple months ago,
all your rich and famous are buying these bunkers.
A couple months ago, we did stories about all the rich moguls buying property down in New Zealand and Australia and shit. You know?
Yep.
So
they know something's coming, and us that are informed know that something's coming. They probably know closer to. They probably know closer to win than what we do, but we all agree that something's coming.
Yeah, we've been talking about them building dams and shit for years and years, though, man. I mean, this is nothing new. But we're closer than ever. I agree.
We are closer than ever. That's what I'm saying. They're even closer than what there's analysts out there giving out the signals. Says we're a lot closer than what people think with this war with North Korea. And that today it really got me convinced when they said basically we're going dark. We're not going to announce our drills anymore with South Korea. That's a pretty big sign.
Realistically, do you think that these rich people that are buying these bunkers in these faraway locations and stuff to try to flee to when shit hits the fan, do you really think they're going to make it?
Probably not.
You know, if they get the same heads up that we do, you know, all of a sudden one morning you wake up and, oh my God, there's a nuclear weapon that went off on the West Coast. Do you really think they're going to make it to their bunker if it's 1,000 miles away?
Probably not, man. In this story here, it says the bunkers vary in size and price. It's the most affordable model, which goes for $39,500, is a micro bunker that's just 96 square feet. It has 2 bunks, a mini kitchen, and a toilet.
$39,000
for the cheapest one.
Yep. You better have it in your backyard, or you ain't gonna get there. You know, it better be within 25 miles of your current location, or you just ain't gonna make it. 39,000.
Basically you're living in like the size of a jail cell with someone else for who knows how long too. You know, if there's radiation, you could be stuck in that thing for who knows how long.
See, now 10 years ago, you probably could have got the same thing for $17,000.
To me, it'd be like being buried in a tomb. I'd go crazy, dude. I wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Yeah. Who got the dinghy? Was that you, Lance?
That was my wife texting me.
Oh, right on.
She just getting off work, telling. I asked her if her car started because it was sitting out there for like 9.5 hours.
Did it?
And I thought, I might have to go get her, but I guess no. I guess it started up. She said it's cold as hell.
Let that bitch warm for about an hour before you take off driving.
Well, that's your heaters can't even hardly keep up when it's this cold, dude.
Oh hell no, dude. Nope. Turn it on recirc. You know, maybe you'll get a little extra heat out of it because it's pulling air from the inside of the cab. But yeah, this is brutal cold. Brutal cold.
Oh yeah, it's beyond. Like I said, it's not like it isn't cold we've never had before, but we've never had it this early. And so this shows us it could be a long winter, dude, because usually we don't get this cold till the middle of January.
Just pray it's a quick winter and the warming comes early.
I hope so, man. Like I said, it's supposed to get even colder this week, and then it's supposed to warm up a little bit.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's going to be Canada cold here tomorrow, too. It's like 29 degrees.
Yeah,
That's getting cold for there.
I call that Canada cold for here.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting some of the shit we've got tonight, man. It's
coming through tomorrow and the next day.
And then there's another one coming right behind it.
Yep, and it's even colder. Bigger. It's colder, and it's going to go farther south.
Yeah, I saw that. I'll be wearing my big Russia fur hat tomorrow.
I need one of them, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. I want one that like Dan's got. Like Daniel Pratt wears in his videos, the like Elmer Fudd style hat. I want one of those, man. I don't know if I want it red and black though. I think I want it kind of a neutral color, some browns or something.
I got all kinds of hats I wear, man.
Yeah, I still got my beanies, my stocking beanies and stuff from Carhartt, and I got a bunch more hair than I had last year though, so it helps out.
See, I don't have any hair, so
yeah, the hair helps out for sure. Oh, okay. So we still got like 50 minutes, man. What else we got to talk about? You guys got any big plans for New Year's? Lance, I know Lance has big plans. What are you doing, Lance?
Not a damn thing.
Really? Go sit at home?
Hell no. No, man, I don't go out on New Year's Eve. It's probably been 10, 15 years since I went to a party or something. I ain't going out. I mean, if I do, it would be one of those, maybe a hotel thing or something like that. But I don't go out. I hear all the fireworks around me. A couple years ago, I mean, it used to be a tradition. We'd run down the south of the border and get a couple of the packets of the Master Blasters and do fireworks. Mm-hmm. But I don't even do that anymore.
Look out, here comes Vaughn West. First time in several weeks that we've had him on the air. Got his Skype loaded up, got his computer all updated. What's up, Vaughn? Long time no speak to you.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Vaughn.
Hey, how you guys doing? A little cold up there up in North Dakota. It's a little cold once you're in the end.
Colder than you could believe, man. Holy shit.
What's that?
We're banging 7 temperature, and I think wind chill probably down 2 or 3 below, and it's supposed to get 11 below tonight. Yeah, the Canadians, I don't know, we don't have no Canadians on the board, but I wish you guys would shut the gate.
Yeah. You guys need to up the insulation up there on the border.
Build another wall.
Yeah, a thermally insulated wall.
Of course, we could live in California. I'm sure there's plenty of heat out there. Hard to breathe, but plenty of heat.
I heard they were getting some rains through there and actually helping out with the fires and whatnot that was happening. So I hope so. They were getting pretty ugly.
Where are all those people at? I mean, come on. I mean, there's a lot of displaced people.
Well, they're keeping them out of there too, because if you look at the overlay of where the fires occurred over the last, say 2-3 years, if you look at the overlay of where the huge fires have occurred, and you put the 2030 agenda map over it, it's not perfect lined up, but damn, you know, it really makes you stop and scratch your head and go, wow, I wonder how these fires did start.
Well, I didn't know which way this was headed. I've been listening, but if you look at what the BLM owns, and you look at
BLM, whoa, hang on. The BLM doesn't own anything. The federal government cannot. All they do is manage the land. The land belongs to the people of the state in which they reside. And if the people ever decided to stand up and say, "Get the fuck off of our property," they'd have to.
Well, there's still political incorrect maps out there that shows the land that BLM owns. Yeah. And where I was getting with this, if you look what's inside the Dome of the Rock there in Israel, is if you turn that just right, it's the same shape as the whole western section. I think Colorado over. It's the same shape as that part of America. And it's awful funny that it looks like they're all getting burned out and it's being bought up and being possessed by so-called the state, but you know the federal government's got laid claim to it. Do you think they're trying to run the damn people off?
Well, yeah, that's the whole 2030 agenda. There's going to be corridors where people are allowed to be, and then every place else is going to be left for nature. You're not allowed to walk on it. You're not allowed to take a hike. You're not allowed to do nothing, right? No people.
Eden, Garden of Eden? Is that what it's going to be, the Garden of Eden?
Well, it's just their agenda, you know. And then once they eliminate the most of the people, then they can have it all for themselves, I guess. That's just the way. I don't know. That's the 2030 thing, though. You know, it used to be Agenda 21, and now they've had to move it off into the future because, you know, that's their plan.
They got to clone their dinosaurs. They got to have somewhere for the dinosaurs to roam. Cloning and experimental stuff going on there, and those that don't leave and decide to move out into the outback will probably be devoured by these critters. You know, I can see this picture coming real quick. It's amazing, isn't it? The imagination of man.
Yeah. There's some creepy motherfuckers out there that got way too much money and are putting it into nefarious things. You know, we were talking about the whole AI thing earlier. You know, I can't wait to see what happens in 2018 with the, you know, alternative intelligence is what I decided to call it, because that's all it is. It's, you know, we've been warned for decades about how robots were not a good thing. And once everybody has one in their home, it's not going to be a good thing. Once they develop a way to analyze situations, I don't think computers will ever be able to actually think for themselves, because you have to have a conscience to be able to think for yourself, and I don't think that's possible in a machine. But when they can run their algorithms and figure out that humans are parasitic, then they're going to start eliminating us if we give them enough power, and that's just not going to be good at all.
You enjoyed the herb. What I did, and I don't do the herb.
Vaughn? Your voice cut out, Vaughn. Vaughn. Can you hear me, Dave? Oh, dropped off the call.
I can hear you.
Okay. He must have got jammed up or something over there.
What's that?
Yeah, he did drop off the call. David's on there still, though.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking, make sure I was still getting out. Wanted to make sure the broadcast was still flowing. All right. Well, we're waiting for him to reconnect. What else you got over there, Dave, you want to talk about? Lance, you got anything you want to talk about, man? Anything striking?
No. They had a guy on tonight on Tucker Carlson talking about cryptocurrencies again. Vaughn just added back in, too. Talking about cryptocurrencies tonight.
Yep.
And, you know, the governments want to abolish money because it's money laundering and everything else. And this guy was like, no, we just need to get rid of $50 and $100 bills. Because if you look at the everyday purchases that the majority of people actually pay cash for, it's under $50. 98% of the time when something's over $50, you pay with a cryptocurrency. You pay with a digital currency. You do. And over 90% of the time. So, I mean, if you think about that, the 50 and the hundreds, if they got rid of them, that would lessen the criminalistic stuff you could do with all that big cash. Just another big way, just another way for the government to say, fuck you, we don't want you not paying any taxes, and this is a way we can see what you're doing. Bullshit.
It is.
Well, they did that overseas, man. They abolished the big bills, and the ones that did hold the big bills lost a fortune. You know, you think they'd pull that here in this country?
Well, you remember we used to have a $500 and $1,000 bill.
Yeah, but I was never privy to that.
I seen them. No, I mean, I remember seeing them back in the 70s. I remember seeing $1,000.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. $1,000 had Jackson on it or something, I think, and the 500s had shit. I can't remember what president was on the 500s. You guys can go look it up on Google, though. It wasn't very long ago that they took the $500 bill away. It's been a while for the 1,000. The 1,000's been gone for a while, but
since the 70s or early 80s, yeah.
Yeah, but I think the 500 just went away, you know, back in the late 80s or early 90s. So that's when they were worried about all the cartels taking truckloads of $500 bills across the border. But yeah, the cryptocurrencies, that's one of the reasons why, I thought that they were going to put a kibosh on them, and I still think they might. You know, anything that's not state created, anything that's rogue created, I think that they could easily, say we're no longer we no longer recognize any, movement in these currencies because it could be nefarious. So you have to
hack it and shut it off. I mean, you can't tell me that somebody wouldn't have the ability to do that.
Well, yeah, but they'll do that, and they'll just say, well, you have to get our First National Bank crypto,
right?
Our Bank of America crypto. Or JP Morgan Chase crypto.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing I saw when I put that video up. I was very serious about it because if you look at the indication upon that coin, the digital coin, the internet coin, it's got an electrical circuit on it, which is stacked upon the non-existing backed money underneath it. And the reality of that is they're telling you that it's going to replace the currency and it's going to be the thing. And there was a video on this where a guy got real specific about it, that if you don't have the proper call out to get into that money, then you're not going to be able to bargain. Okay, so if they want to chip your ass and you want to continue to carry on with this digital coins, which they're going to use, because how else could you move into this world of the mark of the beast? Without the mark, you can't buy, sell, or trade. And this is the beginning of it. I mean, we're in such a fast pace that it's almost blinding to most people, and they just walk around like zombies. We call people zombies, but they're not. They're not aware of what's really going on around them because they're just living a normal life. I'm serious. They're a normal life.
You're already chipped. Almost everybody out there is already chipped. You have one of these things in your pocket, and everybody's got one damn near. If you don't have one, you're living in some third world country, right? But this is the chip. Because there's very few people that are actually going to take one in their fucking hand, right? They might get a electronic tattoo or one of the iPhone watches or so, you know what I mean? They might do. There's very few people that are actually going to take a jab and get a fucking circuit put in their body. There's a few of them out there that are. They already have, right? There's guys that are thinking that they're going to merge with man and machine and blah 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 blah. But the general populace, I don't think they're going to go for that shit. I just don't think they're going to go for it. But they got you already because you got a fucking phone.
Well, yeah, but they're heading towards a way that, like Lance said, to do away with all currency and all denominations of coins.
They already got it. Yeah, there's already apps that you can put on these phones, and you can just swipe your fucking phone and pay for your shit. Apple Pay.
I do that.
Microsoft Pay.
80% of the time.
Yeah, see? Lance is the sheep of the group. He's going to be our fucking little.
I'd take the chip if they could combine it with like a slow time release vaccine that I could only have to take once a year. So.
And you want to be medicated while you're enjoying.
Hey, that's why I keep him on the show, man. He's our canary in the coal mine.
Is there going to be like a green halo around you as you walk through life?
Yeah, right.
He's one of the medicated ones. Leave him alone. He's in a dome. Oh yes. I mean, we're headed to it. I mean, look at it. And they're freezing us out this winter.
We were just talking about that a little bit ago too.
Yeah, they're totally electric like we are. I've got other means, but we're totally electric. And I said, have you looked at the sun today? I said, did you see all the sky was pretty clear except around the sun? I said, is there not a phenomena that they can definitely cover the sun? I said, if they would have let that sun alone, it would have melted snow more so and unfroze things a little bit. No, we got to put that spray over that sun because that sun is dangerous to you. You might get some heat off of it.
They've been painting our skies so bad for the last couple of days. It is unbelievable. I mean, just everywhere you look from the time I get up in the morning at 6 o'clock. Yeah. They're just striping the shit out of us.
If I wasn't a good person, if I told somebody what I tell people most of the time, like I do here on YouTube and that, look up at the sky and tell me what you see. And if they looked at me like I was crazy, I'd punch them right in their fucking face. You know that? Because I'm at that point sometimes. If you're that damn dumb that you're willing to accept no sun, then I need to put your ass underground. Just knock your ass out, pitch in a hole, and throw some dirt over you and say, are you happy now? There you go.
Yeah. I want to read a couple things out of the room here. Poor just said something that's pretty ominous to me. I don't know. He said, crypto reminds me of Confederate money. Hell, they killed JFK, in my opinion, over the real U.S. currency, U.S. notes. Central bankers are not going to be beat. Which is true. He wanted to start printing actual U.S. dollars again instead of going through the fucking Federal Reserve. And I think that was one reason among many that they capped him. But, yeah. So, and the crypto's got him shaken up, when they start going ballistic high, when Bitcoin started going ballistic high, a bunch of these banks started jumping in. You know, they were purchasing them. So they're going to dip their feet in the waters. I'll bet you. They're going to find a way to make them illegal, all the rogue ones out there, and then Bob's your uncle. Until that time, though, there's a lot of people that are making fucking serious jack. Making some if they can cash out, there's a lot of people that are making some serious coin. Paying themselves out of debt.
That was another thing someone was talking about today. I think I heard it today, that there was a debate on whether or not you can actually cash out and get any revenue.
Yeah,
well, the guy made a statement that over $50,000 you might find difficult, but a few thousand, maybe up to 10 grand or 20 grand, you might be able to get that in regular money. But guess what? You've changed dumb money for dumber money.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's going to come a time where they're going to phase out the other, so there's not going to be a way out. That's what I'm getting at with this.
And here's another thing.
There's not going to be a way out.
Here's another thing. All these crypto people got online wallets, right? Even if you've got a hard wallet, it has to be accessed through a computer somehow, somewhere, right? So you can make your little adjustments in your accounts or whatever, or dump this coin and buy some more of this coin or whatever. It's all online. The government knows everything that happens online. So they see your fucking wallet and they see that you got 25 Bitcoin or however the fuck much you got, you know what I mean? They're going to come for their cut of the fucking money. When you go to cash out and grab your 50 grand to pay your house off, the Uncle Sam's going to be going, where's my cut?
Well, why do you think Mr. Trump just passed that new law, that executive order? You think that was after? You know, I would like to think like most people. I know
they can snatch up all your assets, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I saw it.
Turn it towards us, okay?
Yeah.
Well, where are these people? I've seen a bunch of people being arrested, okay? Well, you know, 20, 30, 40 here, you know, some teachers, some, you know, but usually lower-end people. Yeah. I have yet to see one big in-person haul.
Hillary Clinton's not in prison, right? Hillary Clinton's not in prison. A.G. Holder, he's not in prison. Bush, Cheney, Weinstein, Kevin Spacey. Where the fuck are these people? They're not in prison.
But everybody's out here throwing a big parade and a ha for Trump. He's the greatest man on earth. Hey, guess what? Trump ain't done a damn thing that I can count on.
Nope.
He ain't done nothing. I want to see one thing in writing or in film or anything solid that he's done. You know, if that 2% he's talking about he's supposed to give people Social Security is something, well, he took it out in damn revenue for Medicare. You know, you cannot operate in a vacuum and well, maybe you can. I guess maybe I'll just renege on that whole statement because we live in a vacuum because that's how dumb these people are.
Yeah, kind of.
As a guy who wears a "Make America Great" hat again, I'll rebuttal. You know what you're saying there.
What did you say? Make America a hat again? What?
Fuck no. His accomplishments, if you want to call them accomplishments, and it's, you know, nobody in mainstream media is ever going to cover any of his quote unquote accomplishments.
What
the tax bill, the tax thing? You could consider that an accomplishment somewhat. But I don't know, it was 100 or 1,000 regulations that he's rolled back. We're going into Alaska, all these other things. So, you know, one side's going to call them accomplishments. One side's going to call them disastrous, you know, decisions. But, you know, show me any president that you could consider that they had accomplishments in our eyes.
Zero.
Exactly, zero. So, I mean, they have their accomplishments that their side of the media is going to talk about, but our side is never going to see them as accomplishments. So, I mean,
the whole tax thing.
He has done a lot, but he's done just as much as any other fucking president. But you're not going to hear about any of it on mainstream media. He's still a douche. I mean, don't get me wrong, but he has done stuff. Nobody talks about it. You have to watch Fox.
Well, okay. Whoa.
Hey,
hang
you
on
have to
just a
watch
second.
Fox News to hear anything good
Man,
about Trump.
you should be doing an interview on Fox News there. Man.
No, man. And I mean,
He's the
that's
fucking
stuff
apologist for everybody,
I
man.
read on the different stuff.
Look.
So, I mean, the man has done stuff, but, it ain't no different bullshit than any other president that we've had before.
I agree with you 100%, man.
I do too, but I
Lance
still
has got
think
his eye on his daughter, Trump's daughter, because she just got a big kick of that money into Saudi Arabia. That I recognize, because when you start talking about giving money to the family, I can understand that 100%. Why not just rape the hell out of the whole world and make your family richer?
But they did that right after he got into office too, though. China did that. They bought a whole bunch of her clothing lines and shit and started selling them over in China. So that's the money funnels into him no matter what. No matter what. So, I do have to say something really quick. I think that Lance is going to be the very first case of someone actually going back to sleep.
No way. Oh, no way. I mean,
I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Trying to wake people up. But it's amazing how many, subtle hints I'll drop out there about something, stupid, whether it be Saturnalia or the chemtrails or something, and other people will go, oh yeah, and they'll know about it. But as far as not being able to know what's going on and the only way you're going to find out what the sheep are getting, what their information is by watching mainstream media. I mean, it is.
I can't do it though, man. I can't do it. It gives me a headache.
I
can catch my little snippets online.
CNN actually makes me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I'm serious. I mean, every once in a while, and I'm like, I cannot believe, and I yell at the TV, that people still tune in to this blatant fucking propaganda in your face.
And they've been caught lying so many times over the last 2 years.
Times. Yeah. They are so anti-Trump that, 86%, I'm making up a number, of their news is all focused on negative shit with Trump. So, I mean, if you watch Fox, they've got no negative Trump stuff, and they talk about what's going on in Venezuela. They talk about what's going on in Europe. They talk about different shit that's going on and around the country and whatnot. I only like to see what the sheep are trying to be educated on.
I watched Greg Hunter's last interview that he just did, I think yesterday or the day before, with Cliff High, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of Cliff High anymore, people. If you can't figure that out by now, I'm just not. I think there's something very, very wrong going on there. But anyway, according to Cliff High and according to the WebBot data, in about another year and a half or 2 years, by 2020, the mainstream news as we know it is no longer going to exist.
Oh, no.
People are going to pay so little attention to them that they're actually going to go bankrupt.
I totally believe it, but the problem and the reason that I watch this stuff, and you could, call me a sheep or whatever, and David said in there, I watch Tucker. I watch Tucker every night.
Yeah.
But the reason that I watch this shit is so I can have an intelligent conversation with one of these sheep if I run into them somewhere. Because if the only place
they're all around you, man.
News, hold on. If the only place I ever get my news is Breitbart and Before It's News and Chuck Woolery and Alex Jones,
Chuck Woolery,
you're gonna be somewhat educated, but
that's the first time that name has been brought up on this show, I think, ever. You are a first for bringing up Chuck Woolery on this show. I don't think anybody's
Chuck Woolery is so far to the right, I can't believe it. He sees the sun come up 2 hours before the. I thought Bill O'Reilly was far to the right. Chuck Woolery has got this fucker beat. He has this podcast called Blunt Force Truth every day.
Yeah,
dude, the guy is fucking brutal. He is so he would drink Trump's bathwater. I guarantee you, this guy would drink Trump's bathwater.
He needs to go back to game shows.
So far right, it is amazing.
Oh my God!
Go back to game shows, man.
That's what I said. I was like, when did you get off the dating game and get so far to the right? I'm telling you, man, he's a Hillary basher and a Trump licker.
I've seen him come out on Facebook posts and stuff and heard a couple of things that he had to say, and I could tell that he was right wing, from what. But damn, man, I had no idea that he had a radio program. I had no idea.
Blunt force truth every day.
He's not going to listen to it. Don't give a shit.
6 podcasts a day. God. Amazing how far right this guy is. You never would have guessed it by watching the TV shows.
Yeah, I listened to Tom Arnold.
Right?
Tom Arnold has his own show too.
Tom Arnold, yeah, he does a thing too, man. Over on the, he hates Trump, man. He just rips. Wow. He's always ripping on him on Twitter and everything else, saying that he's got audio of him from outtakes of that reality show he ran of him using racial slurs and saying,
if he had it, it would already be out.
Yeah, that's what I think too, man. Everybody keeps asking, "Where's these fucking tapes that you said you got?"
Rosie O'Donnell.
He said he's afraid to release them because of retribution, man. That
they're gonna crush my career. Your career was over when you left Rosie, dickhead.
Stop doing cocaine.
Right. No, and Rosie's doing another one, or Roseanne, I guess Roseanne is who he was with. Rosie O'Donnell, Rosie O'Donnell's telling everybody that they're going to go to hell on the right wing.
Yeah,
I don't know why she hasn't been arrested.
It's all about informing myself and arming myself with what the sheep are getting. I'll never go back to sleep. I mean, it's great being a sheep every once in a while, like when I went to Busch Gardens the other night. But I can still look around and see all the Illuminati symbols and bullshit like that.
Right.
So. I'll continue to speak the truth to anybody that wants to hear it. But
I got a question for everybody on the panel tonight, and everybody in the chat room also. Why didn't Rosie get arrested for trying to bribe?
They're trying.
Yeah, why didn't that happen?
Actively trying right now.
Why didn't that happen within the first 24 hours? Because it's on Twitter. It's a blatant.
I mean, why isn't Madonna in jail for threatening to blow up the White House with a bomb? So I mean, you've got. Because they're liberals.
It's the agenda.
They're women. They're women. Every time a month, most women lose their fucking minds, okay? It's a biological thing. They've got a right to fuck up. So you have to let it pass.
Hey, all the hate mail can be sent to Mr. Vaughn West, care of...
I've got one thing to say about Mr. Trump. If he'll keep us out of war for his first term, I will actually say good show, good job.
There ain't no way. I mean, we've been in constant war. We're still at war.
Yep. But it's going to get worse.
Bringing his shit to our shores.
I don't know that'll happen.
I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. Eventually. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen.
We'd see him coming from miles around.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to stop anything. It's not going to stop anything. We don't have the resources here to try to defend the country because they're all overseas. We've got all kinds of military overseas. We got not a pook here.
Oh, we got a lot of military here.
Ex-military.
Spread out in every state. Too.
Ex-military, yeah. A lot of civilians with guns.
Absolutely.
Right? But still,
absolutely.
When it comes to them launching huge missiles into this fucking country, dude, we got nada. You think the Coast Guard's going to hold off? Whoops. You think the Coast Guard's going to hold off the fucking Russian Navy?
No.
Hey, I heard something. There was like 300 troops somewhere over there in Europe, and they were. Oh, the general was talking to him, and the general says to him, "Don't worry, we got 3,000 more Marines coming." I thought, "Oh, okay." So you guys are ready to really stand up and really do something, huh? Please don't. Please don't. I mean, when you think about it, Trump's true military is the Marines, okay? That's always been, always will be. I'm sorry about the rest of you guys, whoever else you were, but the Marines are the real deal. The few that selected the real, all right? If he really wanted to do the things he's talking about, he could take each group of these politicians, stick a Marine in there, and have that Marine directly ordered everything that they fuck up, write it down, and bring it back to me, and then we'll take care of it immediately. He could do that. He has that right. But, Trump ain't met that yet. He has that ability.
Do you really think that would fly?
Yeah, there'd be a lot of assholes retiring. What do you think?
Well, I think they're going to start retiring anyway because the whole pedophilia thing is getting ready to sweep through Congress and the Senate.
I was going to do a video on that to Mr. Trump. Use your best asset, your Marine Corps.
Trump's as deep in that shit as anybody else, man. Look, Trump's got a huge dossier of times that he's flown on the Lolita Express. So, Trump's just as deep in that shit as anybody else. Why, no. I'm not saying he's a pedophile. I'm just saying that he was on the plane with Epstein and went down to his fucking island and like everybody else that was a pedophile. So, there's that. The truth's going to come out no matter what, right? It tells us that in the Bible. There's nothing that's hidden that shall not be known. So, it's going to come out. It's going to sweep through everything. I don't know if it's going to take Trump down, but he's just as neck deep in it as anybody else. That's the truth.
Well, that's the reality. We're all in this as deep as everybody else, and the simple fact is some of us ain't got enough common sense to repent, as he has made a statement to, and try to help ourselves out of the hole. Because when they reach down there and click that big lighter, it's too late. Your ass is done. It's smoking and crispy critter time.
Yeah, Poor Man's Gold says, blame it on North Korea that it's all-out war. And Trump has no choice. He's married to a girl my age. That says a lot. Yeah, that's true. I'm not exactly sure how young Melania is, but she's quite a bit younger than Trump.
I got nothing against that.
No, but no, I don't know. I'm just,
There you go, Lance. You're my kind of guy.
Hell yeah, man. I got nothing against that. More kudos to him for the woman. I mean, and it's just, that marriage just baffles the shit out of me, man. I don't get it. She already had her own money before she met him. He's not an attractive guy. She's awesome. What the fuck, man? I don't understand it.
Maybe he's hung like Trump Tower.
I don't. Hey, he has big hands. He has big fingers. But I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
Free plastic
surgery. You can look at a lot of other people and get it. I just don't get that.
Free plastic surgery for life.
She could afford it herself, man.
But she ain't got to spend her own money. She still got all the money that she made, right? She ain't bought a damn thing since she married that motherfucker.
You got to be pretty shallow to marry for money, man. So
it's a power thing too, man. It's a power thing.
You do it in a fucking minute, Lance.
I would do it. But
women like powerful men, man. They don't care how they look. If the man's got power behind him, some women are attracted to that.
How much power do you think he really has when he's filed bankruptcy 5 times?
Well, when it came to New York City, he had his pull around there, man.
True.
True. And the deal is, like I said, I don't like the guy. I can't stand him. But it's like Lance says, it baffles you. She had her own money, I know she doesn't have to spend hers now, but I think it's a power thing too, man.
Absolutely.
Well, he carries his own gun, and like you stated, I wouldn't think twice of shooting you in your face, so she probably feels safe with him.
Well, who knows? It's, I think Trump had minglings with the mafia back in the day.
He was a mogul too on television, and he owns the fucking pageant, the Miss America pageant or some fucking bullshit, So he had a lot of pull in Hollywood. She might have been a starlet to be, right? And then said, "Nah, fuck it. He's got money. I'll just spend his money."
Oh.
Well, that means if we throw Trump out, if we do that, we need to put Rock in, because it seems like we're on a Hollywood star venture here. Let's get somebody with a little bit.
If Trump gets thrown out,
he's too old.
If Trump gets thrown out, then it goes to Mike Pence. So what's your thoughts about Pence?
I'm glad we got rid of him out of Indiana, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you're the man that ought to know. That's why I'm asking you. What's his deal? He comes out and acts like he's all kind of devoted Catholic, whatever the fuck, and is doing everything for the good of God. That's the way he acts anyway when he's talking in public.
So if you're a politician, there's nothing God about you, man.
No, you got that right. I'm just saying, I think he's just as much a puppet as anybody else. Yeah,
he's too conservative, man. Way too conservative.
I don't know. That's what I've heard that their whole agenda is to try to get Trump out and put Pence in, because Pence is more in their pocket than Trump is. Trump's still rogue. He's still rogue. He's controlled, but he's rogue. He's got a huge fucking ego. That's going to be super hard to keep in check the longer he stays in the chair. Especially if he gets reelected for a second term. Man, his head's going to swell up so fucking big he won't be able to fit in the door to the White House.
Well, then you got Pence, and if Pence wasn't around, then you'd have Paul Ryan, and he sucks too. I don't like any of our selections.
Well, Pence kisses too much ass. I'm trying to figure out who the hell he'd be praising all the time if he took the position. Who would he be looking up to? I mean, he's a looker-upper. You can tell by the way he acts. He's got to have somebody to look up to. I mean, anybody that sits at a round table and kisses so much ass, of course they all kiss ass. I mean, I'll tell you what. If I ever sat somewhere and talked like these guys talk, I'm sure my ass would get thrown outside and probably told not to come back in, because we don't have that much ass kissing around us. It just ain't happening.
The PFG said in the room, you can make more on Saturday in a church than you can make in a lifetime. Pence is a good Jesuit, but he's met him in person, and he's a very nice guy doing what he's told. So that's PMG's take on Mr. Pence. May have been in person. I hope you washed your hand after you shook it.
He loves Trump, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He loves him. He loves him.
He's probably on his knees every night telling him good night.
He loves him.
Creepy motherfuckers. All right. We got 15 minutes left, man. We got 15 minutes left. What we got now? Got any breaking news over there, David?
Not really breaking. New York Marriage came out a little while ago and says that the city jail population is below 9,000 for the first time in 35 years.
Hey, they got blue snow in Petersburg, Russia, I think it is.
Blue snow?
Blue snow, man. They're really concerned about it. They were putting it in containment buckets and having it analyzed. All of a sudden, the damn snow was blue.
Wow. Probably because a 747 flew over prior to the snowfall and dumped their toilets.
We've had blue snow up here before. We've had that styrofoam stuff that don't want to melt when you catch it on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's chemical snow.
Underground. He come up with something. He said he was up on a hill, and on top of the snow, he found this glob. And, I mean, it's weird looking. I don't know if it's a solid form or not. I said, why didn't you poke it while you were photographing it on the video? If it was either solid or a solid mass or kind of rubbery. Well, I didn't look back for a reply, but it was a weird looking deal. And I thought, where the hell could that came from? And it's kind of like crystal looking, but it's on top of the snow and no footprints. So there you go. It's hard to say what's falling out of the sky now.
There was a snow we've had here in the 90s, I remember, that had a reddish tint to it. It almost looked like a rusty type snow.
Craziness. Don't eat yellow snow. I remember that from when I was a kid. That's, there's so much crazy shit going on with the weather now. It's from day to day, it's hard to tell what's going to happen with it, too. It's like trying to follow the fucking politicians, The weathermen are pretty much giving up and calling every day partly cloudy now. Instead of full sun, partly sun, whatever. I mean, it's just mostly partly cloudy, partly cloudy, partly cloudy. Areas of sun, something like, because they might have missed a spot with the chemtrails. Fucking crazy. And there's still people, man. I had a guy just a few weeks ago right here in my driveway that was adamant that there was no such thing as chemtrails. It was all exhaust from a jet. It's because of the atmosphere up there. It's because it's cold, blah, 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 blah. I said, do you remember them hanging around for 24 hours back when we were kids? Do you remember seeing any of that shit? Because there was planes flying back then, too. And then I asked him, in the wintertime, when you're walking down the road in the wintertime and it's cold out, do you have a 5-mile long fucking trail of exhaust behind your mouth? You know, come on, man. And he was just adamant that it wasn't true and that I was speaking horse shit, and he got in his truck and drove off. He was a good friend of mine, too. Haven't heard from him since. Unbelievable. But anyway, that shit happens. Good on him, man. I mean, you know, if he wants to be a sheep for the rest of his life, good on him. Good on him. Hope it works for him.
And what happened to the guys at the bar? What's his name? Duke? Mac? What was his name?
Oh, Buck.
Buck. There you go, the Buck.
Yeah, he was.
Did they phase out on us?
Yeah, I guess they got tired of trying to listen to it on the phone or whatever. Went to get it on the computer. I don't know. They just dropped off the call. He's a weasel. You know the weasels.
Yeah, anybody that hangs out at a weasel bar got to be a weasel.
They're good people, man. That whole crew, the whole crew that they've got down here is absolutely awesome people. And they just lost one of their brothers just a short while ago, you know, slipped off the road and wound up in the trees on his trike, and just bad news, man. So there's a little get-together up the road here from my house on the 6th of January. I'm going to have to go hit that one just to say goodbye to him, because I just met him. Like probably 10 days before he died.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You got to meet him, brother.
Yeah. He was good people.
That's like the people up around Dave. If you listen to Dave and what he's talking, you know, when you start talking the temperatures and stuff, that's why I say up there, you always kept plenty of food and shit around, because you never know if you was going to be putting a family up till the weather broke.
Right.
I mean, that's just how it is.
Right. You guys got a bunch of snow on the ground in Indiana too, yeah? Vaughn?
Yeah, we got about probably 3-4 inches, and you know, it's just cold. I mean, I started the truck. The last time I had started it was Friday when Brenda took it out, and I started it, and it went wow, wow, wow. But I had put 530 in it. I just changed the oil in both vehicles. I'm glad I did. And like I said, I had to put a generator on that Jeep and revamped a few things on it. And when they're cranking like that, you know it's cold. But when you start getting up there and you got to plug them in, you know you're in some cold-ass country.
Yeah, see, I don't have a block heater on any of my shit down here yet. I'm hoping that it doesn't start, you know, maintaining the negative degree temperatures for, you know, any kind of length of time, because I don't want to have to do all that crap. It's one of the reasons that I moved down to the Mid-South, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that's one of the reasons that I moved down to the Mid-South. I got tired of being bone-chilling cold.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it remains to continue to be cold, I will pack my ass and get the hell out of here. I'm not going to deal with it. You know,
but if we're going into a solar minimum, where are you going to go? Costa Rica? You know, if we're going into a solar minimum, it's going to be bad everywhere.
Shit, I'll go all the way down somewhere in Brazil or someplace. Shit.
All right, no, I'll sell my shit and come with you.
Yeah, I ain't going to no island where a tornado or a hurricane will blow me away. Hell no.
PMG said it was minus 15 last night with the wind chill. Minus 5, way too cold for Ohio.
It is. We don't, like Dave said, we don't usually have this kind of weather until mid-January or
early February. Yeah, that's when the brutal cold usually came into Illinois too, was in February.
In fact, usually we had a lot of snow, but the snow actually kept everything warmer because it blanketed the ground, you know, and you weren't able, but we don't have that kind, I don't want it, but, you know, we don't have those big snows any longer. And so when it gets cold, I mean, it's barely cold. Yeah. I mean, the sun can be out and you walk outside and that cold air hits you. It'll take your breath away.
Oh, yeah.
You know, healthy or not. And a lot of people are getting pneumonia around here that's never had it. and you know, it's starting to happen.
The chemtrail flu. That's what I think some of this pneumonia is being caused by the chemtrails too, because there's a lot of people on YouTube now that all of a sudden have come down with the chemtrail flu since just before Christmas. You know, just a lot of the people that I'm watching online. Everybody's coming down with this cold, and there's a lot of locals here too. You know, they've had it for 2 or 3 weeks, can't shake it. 2 or 3 weeks, can't shake the cough, can't shake the feeling clammy and shit all the time. Can't shake it. It's like,
well, it's the body trying to get rid of whatever it's being invaded with, and there's no.
Well, they're all,
it doesn't break the resistance down, you end up with pneumonia.
And eating crappy food on top of it, I mean, just the accumulation of all that chemical shit in your body can only take it for so long, right? It's going to start fucking shutting down.
Yeah, the neighbor made some grape jelly this year and give me a couple of jars of it. And I've been eating on that a little bit because that's real, that's real.
Yeah.
That's as good as you're going to get.
Well, you got to try to detoxify from time to time, put some healthy shit in your body. Try to keep yourself, that's one of the reasons why I do the silver water every single day. Every single day I drink silver water. And it keeps me as healthy as I am, right? Amongst other things, because I still eat crap food. I got to go to the store and buy groceries and shit. And I don't have my garden going full blown yet or anything like that. I'm not shooting my own meat yet. But,
Well, I didn't get a chance to tell you when I was working on a Jeep, I reached up to get a part. And I kicked that dirt and stuff in my eye. I went 3-4 days with my eye festered up, and I used silver in it, and finally got most of that out, and cleared it up, so I could see again. I mean, my eye was just really, I couldn't go nowhere.
Yep.
Like holy shit. And you can use it. It's good if you ain't got an antibiotic. Okay, you want a good antibiotic, natural. Colloidal silver is the best thing. Put a couple drops in your eyes when you get up and when you go to bed, and it'll clear that shit out. It will not harm your eyes. Trust me, it won't.
It's non-toxic to the human body, period.
That's right. And I don't care. I've heard people talk pro and con on that, and that's only because those kind of people do not and will not do nothing but what the doctor says, and they're the ones that ends up with Alzheimer's. And I'm going to go another little step forward with this Alzheimer's. I'm telling you, Alzheimer's, just like some of these other things with the vaccines, Alzheimer's was almost a designated thing that would happen to older people if they followed the doctor and all the prescriptions in the right formation. They would actually be shut in a limbo land, and that's where I've got a lot of people that I know got Alzheimer's. They're neither here nor there, and they can't get there because their bodies are healthy. Until their bodies shut down. Brenda's got an aunt, she's down to 65 pounds? Okay, we're talking, until the body shuts down, she's caught in limbo. Now, is that where we want to be, and who created this shit?
Well, they keep sticking all the pharmaceuticals in them to keep them alive.
Cholesterol, you put all that shit together, and what's it do? It jacks your whole system. Get up and find the natural things. Take a shot of apple cider vinegar in the morning and a shot of apple cider vinegar at night. Get rid of your freaking cholesterol. Balance your body out naturally. Quit killing yourself with the medication. But, here I go. I want to rant.
Well, that's what they do. They get them in the nursing homes, and then they stuff them full of medications and keep them alive as long as they can so they can drain their insurance. Once the insurance is out, they can't afford the medications no more, so they have to stop the medications, and then they just let them lay there and die. That's part of the healthcare scam. They care about your health. They manage your health for you. They don't make you healthy. They just manage your health. So it's all part of the system, man. And we've been stuck in it our whole lives. Our parents were stuck in it their whole lives. Our grandparents were stuck in it their whole lives. They had no fucking clue that all this shit was going on. So be happy you're awake to the paradigm, I guess. I don't know. It's very frustrating to be awake. It's very frustrating to be awake. But every one of us that's out there that is awake, we're awake for a reason. It's God's plan for us to be awake at this time for a reason. We're here to do something, to either wake other people up or stand up finally and make a difference, speak our truth, even if our voices are shaking.
Yep, definitely just keep on keeping on and walk as well as you can in the light and let people see that. It's all you can do.
Don't be ashamed. Yeah. Don't be ashamed of your truth. Speak it.
No. Be the beacon of light, because the Lord is the only way. I hear too many people out here anymore on YouTube that are trying to deny Jesus Christ as our Savior. Okay, well, you can deny anything you want, or you can do whatever you want. You can do what your will allow you, because when you talk that way, I know you're using your own will. You're not listening to the Lord, because you don't know the Lord. If you knew the Lord, then you would accept what the Lord has told you. And that's all I ask of people, give it a chance. Take a little time. Be quiet a little bit and just talk to him and let him move on you.
It's 11 o'clock.
There you go. And see if it makes a change in your life. If not, then you can go ahead and be whatever you want to be. I have no idea. Okay, I am not going to proclaim anybody that's going to burn in hell or whatever the hell they're going to do. I can't do that, all right? That's not me. I don't know. But I know I'm going to do what the Lord asks of me. And that's why I accept Jesus Christ as my Savior. Absolutely. And I believe that's very important to him, because he gave his only begotten Son. And to me, to think that the Lord should not have deserved a son as we do, bullshit, okay? Because I did a video on that. And he gave it to us. And he gave it to us at the last slaughter of the Lamb, and that was his Son. Yeah. So why are we killing all these people? That's all he's saying. Why do you continue down the path? Please turn your head to the right direction, upward, and listen to me. And that's all you got to do, friends. It ain't a hard chore. And if you don't want, well, look down at the dirt, kick a stone, and that's where you're going to be, all by yourself.
Yep. It's amazing that it's just that simple, It really is just that simple. Well, we made it to the end of another show, which is a good thing. I was kind of worried at the beginning when it was just Dave and I. I'm wondering if we were going to be able to make it through an entire 2 hours, but then we got Lance to add in and got Vaughn to add in and made it through a show. So awesome. I'm going to thank all three of you guys for making it onto the mic. And Buck, we'll get your shit figured out and get you guys added into the show from time to time too, because I'd really like to hear what you have to say also. So anybody got any last things before I play the outro music?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to all that came to participate tonight and to listen to the silliness. I struggle to get on here, which, that's what I do always. But, the will, I came when the Lord allowed me to, and that's what I look at. So that's how I see life. And if you'll continue that path, no matter how hard you want something done, just back off and let him do it, and it'll happen. So that's what I got to say. And God bless y'all, and have a safe week, and have a good holiday. The New Year's is coming.
Yep.
Let's just see what's coming.
Yep. It ought to be an interesting New Year for sure. Lance, you got any last words, man?
No. I'm just going to continue working for everybody in the room, making America great again every day. That's it. Love y'all.
Keep tabs on them shitheads at CNN, man.
Mm-hmm.
Keep tabs on them shitheads at CNN for us.
Damn right.
All right.
Love you, Lance. Brenda, love you. Brother. You too, Dave. You too, Jim.
What about you, Dave? You got any last words?
I'm just looking forward to Anderson Cooper on New Year's Eve.
Without Kathy Griffin,
yeah,
I'm
Kathy
a little
Griffin.
Disappointed.
Yeah,
Kathy Griffin will be
disappointed. He's got his other gay guy with him.
He
so
does. Yes, he does.
Should be pretty. Andy Cohen. They should be pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to them.
There'll be a bunch of glitter.
Yeah, baby.
Should
the pooper.
Should be a bunch of glitter.
Other than that, I don't have nothing else, man. Just,
all right.
Like I said, our military drills are going dark now with South Korea, so it could be any day now.
We'll be back on Saturday to discuss more of that, for sure. All right, fellas, I'm hanging up on you and playing the outro. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. And that goes for all you people out in the chat room, too. Happy New Year to all of you as well. Make sure that you stay safe. have a good time with your families, and make some memories. Like I always say, make some memories. All right. You guys know how I end it all. Love, peace, and cookies.
One drop of this precious blood is enough to break every curse, every sin, every torment.
I've been bought by his blood, I have no defeat as I lay face down at the base of his feet. Through him I can be powerful, but without him I'm just pitiful. Get the full effect protection, collect everything and turn it over for direction. Wear the armor of God, stand in his shadow, and you'll be ready for battle. We fight not against blood and flesh, but an interdimensional hornet's nest. We come prepared with an armory and catapult truth with angelic artillery. Stand as one, shoulder to shoulder, confident, cause tonight we are soldiers. Nothing to fear with Christ on our side. The Lion of Judah, the truth and the light. We battle vipers and snakes, serpentine mimics, haters, posers and fakes, evil forces and dark principalities. Wage war for the souls of humanity. Our general and commander, of course, is a conquering king riding on the white horse. And from his mouth comes a sword and the power source from his blood that he poured. We use weapons not of this world, but we're forged in connection with his resurrection. He has risen, shout from the mountaintops, foundation solid as rocks. He is the wall of my fortress, and my only success is fulfilling his purpose. He created us and saved us, and with Christ on our side, who can stand against us? He was our sacrifice, and if he did not rise, then it's all a lie. He took our sins to the grave, and if he was not raised, then it's all in vain. He made the claim of Messiah. It's either true or Jesus was a lunatic or a liar. These are the choices we're given. It's either evil or God in the flesh. Make your decision. He was our sacrifice, and if he did not rise, then it's all a lie. He took our sins to the grave, and if he was not raised, then it's all in vain. He made the claim of Messiah. It's either true or Jesus was a lunatic or a liar. These are the choices we're given. It's either evil or God in the flesh. Make your decision.
There is power in the blood of Jesus. I say there is power, wonder-working power in the blood of Jesus. Hallelujah.
I've met the giver of life, oh death which is king, were eternal for us. To die is to gain. We claim our victory over the grave, gave his life to redeem us. The price he has paid is through his grace and forgiveness. We have been bought by his blood, yes, Jesus has saved us. He rose again and ascended, and fulfilled what all others have only pretended. He is our loving Messiah, and his will and his purpose is all we desire. He is the light in the darkness. He can soften the hardest of hearts. He will harvest abundance. Yes, his love is triumphant. Gathered together at the sound of the trumpet, we will rejoice everlasting, and the joy of our hearts will burst forth with a passion. And every knee shall bow down and acknowledge the King of all kings and his crown. And the lost will be found, and the glorious singing of angels will sound. The enemy will be swallowed and destroyed with his demons, and all those who follow will be consumed in the fire, and the flames will devour the father of liars. And all of death and decay and the evils of sin will all pass away, and all the peoples and nations who acknowledge his son will be part of his kingdom. All by his grace and redemption, we have been cleansed by his blood to a holy perfection. Tell the world he has risen, and that it's time to prepare, for now is the season. He was our sacrifice, and if he did not rise, then it's all a lie. He took our sins to the grave, and if he was not raised, then it's all in vain. He made the claim of Messiah. It's either true or Jesus was a lunatic or a liar. These are the choices we're given. It's either evil or God in the flesh. Make your decision. He was our sacrifice, and if he did not rise, then it's all a lie. He took our sins to the grave, and if he was not raised, then it's all in vain. He made the claim of Messiah. It's either true or Jesus was a lunatic or a liar. These are the choices we're given. It's either evil or God in the flesh. Make your decision.
It's not enough to know about it. It's not enough to hear about it. I now challenge you. Reach out for the blood of Jesus.